All right, guys, so we stopped here at Big Cypress Visitor Center. I believe it's right off of the highway, so you can probably hear the cars. And we're on this little boardwalk, and Huck has spotted another gator.
Yay. Two for me.
So there's one. It started to rain. The temperatures had dropped 10 degrees here in the last, since this rain started, so yeah, I don't know. We were just talking about all the fish here. We just completed the loop, which was a long ride, but that was pretty neat. Saw lots of gar and brim and bowfin. I think the guy from the earlier stop looked like he had a bass that he caught. That gator about 80 him up.
Wow, we got close, that's for sure.
Christina's donated about a pint of blood to the local mosquito population because she refuses to put on bug repellent because she doesn't want to smell stinky.
I want to smell good.
So at the beach tomorrow, she'll look like she has leprosy. Yeah, from what I hear, normally this is a good place to see a bunch of gators, and they're probably, I mean, they're here, but I don't know, with it kind of just a little thunderstorm, I'm sure they've tucked under somewhere. So we did stop at Shark Valley. We didn't go in Shark Valley. One of these years we may do Shark Valley, but we didn't this year because it was like $35 just to get in the gate, and that's not really that wasn't really one of the things we had to do.
Where'd he go?
So.
Alright, easy Huck.
All right, guys, we are in Everglades City. We just got done. Captain Jack's.
Joe?
No, what was the name of the place?
Oh, yeah.
Captain Jack's with Captain Joe.
Did
the mangrove airboat experience, and now we're on a boardwalk in the Everglades.
Yeah. So far, the only animals we've seen are mosquitoes.
Yeah, boardwalk.
On the boardwalk.
Boardwalk.
We did see gators on the. We saw crabs.
So the the Okefenokee prepared us for the Everglade boardwalk. He was talking about the mosquitoes here, and you know, there are mosquitoes here, but honestly, we're in the middle of a swamp, and the mosquitoes are probably just as bad in our backyard.
There were deer flies at the.
Now the Okefenokee was deer flies, and if you're not familiar with a deer fly, he doesn't suck your blood; he just bites the
one just got me.
poop out of you all the time. They fly around your head until you can't stand it. All right, team has given up.
I gotta get more bug spray.
She's getting her bug spray.
I didn't want to get
She
bug
did.
spray.
She didn't want to smell stinky now. She gotta get her bug spray. But yeah, just loved this airboat experience through the mangroves. Last year when we did Wootton's, it was very fun. It was just different. So this is kind of a different experience. All right, here we go.
The guy was talking about this.
Yep. We came by this area This was part of where we went, and then back off into there.
There's a crab right there.
So
Oh, I missed. I think you missed a crab that close.
saw a few gators. There's a little crab down there.
There's a bunch of crabs too.
We've been looking and looking for pythons, and everybody we come across that are locals and say how much of a problem they are. But then again, they're a little shy, I guess you could say. Airboat captain said that he usually doesn't see them. He said he might have seen 3 or 4 in the last 6 months. Just they hear the boat noise. So
That airboat was so fun. I loved it.
we have been actively searching for pythons,
No.
and we haven't seen one. At this point, I would take seeing one dead on the side of the road.
Mm-mm. I don't want to see one at all.
You know, look in the mangroves. If you're not familiar with mangroves,
I know.
these things are nasty. They're just covered. They're kind of sharp and razory at the bottom. Thick black mud underneath.
Wow.
So guess you could say we're in the mangrove forest. Not really somewhere you'd want to be. If we're not on this boardwalk, you'd be in a mess.
Without the road and the car.
While I'm thinking about it, on the airboat ride, the long straightaway that you saw where it looked kind of unnaturally long, well, that's the only man-made stretch was that long straight. When he said back in the 30s, they dug that canal out and put in a railroad there that went from Everglades City almost up to somewhere around Tampa. But stuff like that's just odd to us, because you would never be able to, I mean, it would just be too soupy in mud. But here the mud's kind of just different. They can run the swamp buggies or whatever else out here, and they don't get stuck. And if you saw us driving down that road, we were going through that mud, and it really wasn't a big deal. But don't think we'd have been able to do that at home. But yeah, that railroad there that you saw, it ran, I don't know, he said just for a few years, and then back in the 70s and 80s, they started taking the track up, so the track's not there anymore. You might have saw a little bit of the bridge still standing. But the rest of the mangroves that we rode under or through, he said were natural cuts where the current ran through. There's your PBS lesson on the mangroves of the Everglades.
Cool.
If you haven't watched last year's Everglade video, go check that out. We went to a different airboat swamp buggy tour last year. It was more of the, I don't know what they call it, that sawgrass type stuff, where in the Everglades it's more open.
Fish down there? I don't see any.
This is more mangrove, which we're pretty close to the Gulf here. We're in Everglades City, so we're not far from the ocean. But we've really seen a diversity of habitats in the Everglades this year, from the wide open areas, mangrove now, and then just that straight swamp that we saw, those gators. What's crazy is the water is so clear. Even here in these mangroves, the water is clear all the way down to the mud. This is different mud. And every body of water that we've looked in is full of fish. There's fish everywhere. So, Bo, what'd you think about this part of the Everglades, the mangroves?
It was good. You have to come check it out sometime.
Yeah. This has kind of been my favorite part, was this airboat ride. Which, riding that loop road was definitely something I would do again. You can go at your own pace. All right, on to the next stop.